November 14, 2026. At exactly 3:33 a.m., every security camera inside Blackwood Hospital went offline. For exactly 33 seconds. When the cameras came back, a door had appeared. Not broken through. Not installed. Simply, there. It stood at the end of Corridor C. A tall black wooden door with no room number. No handle. No keyhole. Just a small brass plaque. Room 333. The strange part? Blackwood Hospital only had 332 rooms. Police assumed someone was playing a prank. Maintenance checked the building's blueprints. There was no room 333. No hidden hallway. No secret chamber. Nothing. The mysterious door remained there for 3 nights. Every morning, it disappeared before sunrise. No one dared touch it. Until investigative journalist Emma Collins arrived. She had spent years exposing urban legends and supernatural hoaxes. To her, this was simply another fake story waiting to be debunked. On the 4th night, Emma entered the hospital alone. Her camera recorded everything. At exactly 3:32 a.m., the hallway lights began flickering. Every digital clock inside the hospital froze. 3:33. A cold wind swept through the corridor. Then, without making a single sound, the black door slowly appeared out of thin air. Emma slowly raised her camera. The recording light was still blinking. She aimed the lens directly at the impossible door. Nothing. The camera screen showed only the empty hallway. But the door was standing right in front of her. She lowered the camera. The door was still there. She raised it again. Empty hallway. As if the camera refused to see it. A faint metallic sound echoed from behind the door. 3 slow knocks. Knock. 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 Emma stepped closer. The brass plaque no longer read room 333. Now it simply read, Emma Collins. Her heartbeat stopped. She touched the cold wood. The door slowly opened by itself. Beyond it wasn't another hospital room. It was a hospital corridor. The same corridor. But everything looked older. Paint peeled from the walls. Medical beds were overturned. Blood stained the floor. Emergency lights flashed red through thick smoke. Then she heard screaming. Doctors. Patients. Someone shouted. Seal room 333. Another voice screamed. Don't let them open the door. Emma looked at her watch. 3:33 a.m. The same time. The corridor suddenly shook. A wheelchair rolled past her by itself. Then another. Far down the hallway, a nurse stood perfectly still. Her white uniform was soaked with blood. Her face remained hidden beneath long black hair. Slowly, she raised one finger, pointing directly at Emma. Emma couldn't move. The blood-soaked nurse remained perfectly still. Then, without taking a single step, she suddenly appeared only a few feet away. Emma stumbled backward. Her flashlight slipped from her hand. When she picked it up, the nurse was gone. Only a trail of wet footprints remained on the floor. They led toward a steel operating room door. Above it, a faded sign read, Room 333. Emma pushed the heavy door open. Inside stood an abandoned operating theater. Rust covered every surgical instrument. The ceiling lights flickered weakly. In the center of the room, an operating table. Someone was lying on it beneath a white sheet. Emma forced herself closer. She grabbed the edge of the sheet. Pulled. Nothing. The table was empty. Then, a heart monitor beside the bed suddenly beeped. One slow beat. Beep. Another. Beep. The monitor wasn't connected to anyone. Yet the heartbeat grew stronger. Emma looked at the patient chart hanging beside the bed. Patient name: Emma Collins. Age: 32. Condition: admitted at 3:33 a.m. Status: deceased. Her breathing stopped. No. She whispered. This isn't possible. A cold voice answered from behind her. It hasn't happened yet. Emma slowly turned around. An elderly doctor stood in the doorway. His uniform looked 50 years old. His face was pale. His eyes were completely white. He held an old hospital file in one hand. Quietly, he smiled. You came back. Just like every other patient. Emma backed away from the old doctor. You've got the wrong person. The doctor quietly opened the faded hospital file. I never do. He turned the first page. It contained dozens of photographs. Every one showed a different patient. Every photograph had the same handwritten note. Arrived at 3:33. Never returned. Emma flipped through the pages faster. The dates stretched back decades. 1981. 1974. 1962. Then she reached the final page. Her hands froze. It wasn't a photograph. It was a live image. She was looking at herself. Standing inside room 333. The picture moved exactly as she moved. As if the file itself were watching her. The doctor calmly closed it. Room 333 doesn't kill people. It keeps unfinished moments alive. Emma frowned. What does that mean? The doctor pointed toward a large cracked mirror hanging on the operating room wall. Look. She slowly faced the mirror. At first, she saw only her own reflection. Then, the reflection didn't copy her. It slowly raised its hand. Emma hadn't moved. Her reflection smiled. She didn't. Then, the woman inside the mirror quietly whispered, "You shouldn't have come back." Before Emma could react, the reflection reached toward the glass. Its hand slowly pushed through the mirror. As if the glass were nothing more than water. A cold hand wrapped tightly around Emma's wrist. The lights exploded into darkness. And somewhere beyond the room, every hospital clock struck. 3:33. Emma pulled with all her strength. The icy hand tightened around her wrist. Then, it suddenly let go. She stumbled backward onto the cold floor. The room was silent. The mirror looked normal again. No reflection. No hand. No old doctor. Only darkness. Then, a tiny flashlight beam appeared beneath the operating table. Emma crawled toward it. Someone had hidden a small cassette recorder there. She pressed play. Static filled the room. Then a frightened woman's voice whispered, "My name is Sarah Bennett. If you're hearing this, room 333 has chosen you." Emma's heart pounded. The hospital was never haunted. We created this. We were running an experiment. Project 333. We believed memories could be preserved forever. But something answered us. It wasn't a ghost. It wasn't human. It feeds on unfinished moments. The moment before death. The second before regret. The instant someone wishes they could go back. Emma's breathing became shallow. The tape continued. Every person who enters room 333 becomes trapped inside their own final memory. They never leave. They only repeat. Suddenly, the recorder stopped. Not because the tape had ended. Because someone had pressed the stop button. Emma slowly looked up. The old doctor was standing directly in front of her. Only inches away. This time, his white eyes were gone. They were completely black. He smiled. Then quietly asked, "What moment would you change, Emma?" The operating room door slammed shut behind her. The monitor beside the empty bed began beeping again. Faster. 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 As if someone's final heartbeat had just begun. Emma stared at the heart monitor. The beeping grew faster. Then, the old doctor handed her a faded photograph. It showed a young girl lying in a hospital bed. Emma recognized her instantly. Her younger sister, Lily. 12 years earlier. The night she died. Emma's hands trembled. "I couldn't save her." The doctor nodded. "No. But you've been trying to save her every day since." The room began changing. The operating theater disappeared. Emma now stood in an old hospital room. Rain struck the windows. Doctors rushed around Lily's bed. Monitors screamed. Emma remembered this night. She had left the room for only 33 seconds. When she returned, Lily was gone forever. A voice echoed through the room. "Change it. You still have time." Across the room, the door slowly opened. Behind it stood Lily. Alive. Smiling. Holding out her hand. Emma ran toward her. Just before reaching Lily, the old doctor's voice thundered behind her. "If you save one memory, you become part of it." Emma froze. Lily smiled again. "Please. Don't leave me this time." Tears filled Emma's eyes. Everything she wanted was standing only a few feet away. Slowly, she stepped backward. "I'm sorry. I can't stay." Lily's smile faded. The hospital room shattered like glass. Darkness swallowed everything. Room 333 began collapsing. The old doctor looked at Emma. For the first time, he smiled like an ordinary man. "You broke the cycle." Then, he disappeared into dust. Emma opened her eyes. She was back inside Blackwood Hospital. The hallway was silent. No mysterious door. No room 333. Only her camera remained on the floor. The recording was still running. She played it back. For the first hour, the footage showed an empty hallway. No door. No ghosts. Nothing. Then, for exactly one frame, a black wooden door appeared, standing silently at the end of the corridor. The video ended. The investigation was officially closed. Architects confirmed once again. Blackwood Hospital had only 332 rooms. Room 333 had never existed. Months later, the hospital was demolished. Today, a parking garage stands in its place. But every year, on November 14th, at exactly 3:33 a.m., every security camera facing that empty parking lot goes black. For exactly 33 seconds. And when the picture returns, a single black door is sometimes visible, waiting for someone curious enough to open it.